When a brewery names a beer after the son of Hercules, you know it's going to be at least a little bit pokey. Hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to some German beer. It has been a few weeks. Today we're looking at this. It is SCHNEIDER WEISSE's Aventinus. I think I'm getting the pronunciation on that right. Aventinus. It is a Weizen Doppelbock, coming in at a whopping 8.2%. As I alluded to in the intro, in Roman mythology, Aventinus was the son of Hercules and Rhea. So yeah, at 8.2%, it's probably not that surprising that they named it after him. Another fun fact though is that this was first brewed in 1907 and was the first wheated Doppelbock in the world, or Doppelbock based on a wheat beer, or whatever you want to describe it as. Before we break into it, a quick look at the bottle. I mean, it's got a beautiful purple and gold colourway. For some reason, it's a bit difficult to pick up in the light there, but you get the idea. It looks, well, it looks proper, doesn't it? It looks regal. I'm not so sure how looks it's going to be. SCHNEIDER WEISSE I always find to be one of those breweries that I always really enjoy their beer, but they're always on the mellow side. Super sessionable, super nice, but never really punchy. But yeah, an 8.2% Weizen Doppelbock, I keep forgetting that bit, might just turn the tide on that opinion for me. And Gold Award 2022, apparently. Now, I will be using a Weissbeer glass for this one, and I'm sorry to SCHNEIDER WEISSE, but I've only got a Paulaner one, so we'll just turn the logo around. No one needs to know. No one needs to know before we break into this one. Now, I am going to go for the proper Weissbeer pouring method, which is get it in nice and slowly, not too aggro, just let it do its thing. I mean, I say not too aggro. That foams are coming, whether I like it or not. Get most of it in there. Slowly does it, slowly does it. And then, when you've got a centimetre or so in the bottom of the glass, swill it around, get all that yeasty funk out, which I know is going to be a controversial thing from some people in some countries, but this is the way you're meant to do it. German style, and, well, let's drink it properly, eh? My ice cream is served. The domage on that looks absolutely superb. I'm hoping I'm not going to ruin it and it's just going to go everywhere if I lift it up, but take a look at that. That is the absolute real deal. In the glass, as always, looks darker on camera. It's brown. I'm not going to lie. It's not the most visual appealing thing. It's a bit of an orange hue to it, but ultimately does look a bit like dirty dishwater. Aroma-wise, I can't give you much yet because, well, that foam is frankly ridiculous. So I'm going to wait a few minutes, let that chill out, and we shall resume.
A few minutes later.
It's just not going down. It's not doing anything. So I'm impatient. I want to get into this. I'm going to do my best. Yeasty is the overwhelming note on that. It's got a big, funky Weissbeer yeast note, obviously, but like, it's big. It's really big in this. If you're not sure that you like that Weissbeer yeasty thing, this might not be for you. Like, it's really big in there. But along with it, heaps of berries, red fruit, thing, you know, kind of blackcurrant. It's almost got a bit of lager and black kind of vibe, but bigger, richer, more deluxe, amped up, super bougie. To be honest, not a great deal else coming through. We'll revisit the aromas in a bit, shall we? Which we can probably get into it, but I'm keen. And look at the wobble on that. I mean, that is, frankly, pretty ridiculous. Doesn't move. It's invincible. Right then, this should make for an interesting beer tash. Let's get into it. Cheers. You know what I said before about SCHNEIDER WEISSE being always nice, but maybe a bit too approachable, a bit too soft, a bit too easy? Oh, they've changed my mind. That is bold, punchy, boozy, sweet, pretty low bitterness, which is probably expected really for the style, but that's tickling me up all the right way. Now, just while I let this settle down just a little bit more so I can get some proper tasting notes out of it, a bit about the beer, cost, availability, and all that kind of stuff. It is available on a lot of online shops in the UK. I checked before filming, and pretty much always around £5 a bottle, which in German terms is pretty pricey. Like, there's some really, really good stuff out there at £3.50, £3.75, £4. But on the flip side, compared to UK brewed things right now at 8% actually seems like a bit of a steal. And if I haven't given it away already, yeah, I do really like it. Now I can get my nose properly in there. Banana bread is really where it's going. It's got that kind of banana-y, yeasty, sweet shoppy, kind of foam bananas that you get in a lot of Belgian beer and in Weissbeers, but we've got this sweet, bready, cakey malt thing going on now. It's probably starting to open up. Berries are still there, yeasty note is dominant still, but there are some other bits to pick out of it. So, top to bottom taste test time, right on the tip of the tongue. Super spritzy, refreshing, quite soft, sweet, touch of bitterness, but it's really only a touch. It's the berries thing, it's the blackcurrant, but it's, well, if anything, too approachable actually. That trademark Schneider Weisse thing, on the tip of the tongue you go, oh, this isn't a scary 8% beer at all. It's quite approachable in every way, but it builds and it builds over the first third. Starts to get a bit of a tangy note. The fruit deepens. It's more kind of, raisiny and figgy almost. It's getting that way across the mid palate. Sharpens up a bit. You start to get a bit of, I was going to say bitterness, but actually I think it's more like the sour note from that very aggressive yeast. It's really tart is the word. It's probably best to use. But it's not very long-lived, to be honest. When you drink it normally, you don't really notice it. Over to the back of the tongue, the fruity notes remain pretty much all throughout, but it starts to develop this depth here. Again, it just keeps getting richer and richer and richer as you go through it. More into kind of the space of licorice now, and a little bit of boozy heat kicks in. Like, it's not too strong, it's not too much, but there is definitely something there. And then on the aftertaste, it all kind of reveals itself. It's not flavourless when it's actually on your palate, but the big event really is right at the end. Slightly hot, very warming as it goes down. Everything's still there, licorice, fruits, a bit of yeast, everything. It's quite consistent. I'd say it just builds. It just gets more and more and more. And as you sit back, just relax with it. There's a bit of that doughy foam banana bready thing coming in right at the end, just to sweeten everything off and make you go, you know what? Yes, sir, I will indeed have another. Right then, quick look at the bottle on this. So on the front, it just says Schneider Weisse Aventinus, tap number 6. Schneider Weisse have a tap number for all of their beers, so I guess in their tap room, this is on tap number 6. As I said, it's got a gold award from 2022. Aventinus Weizen Doppelbock, 8.2%. It's all in German. There's really not a great deal on there. As is the case with most German beers, they let the beer do all of the talking. It is a very nice drop. I know a few people who probably go, Schneider Weisse, yeah, it's alright, but I'm going to buy from one of the other big German companies, especially when it comes to Weissbeer, which is what they specialise in. But this one, yeah, don't turn this one down. It is actually one of the bigger, richer, depthier, dare I say, more interesting Weissbeer experiences. It maybe doesn't have the body of some of the others, but yeah, it's doing something right there. And I think if you like your Weissbeer, you properly like your Weissbeer and want something a little bit stronger, well, yeah, that one will do it for you, I reckon. And that really is all I've got to say about it. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you haven't already, subscribe if you will be so kind, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.